expedition. Peter was fishing at night. Those who are fishermen know that fish are caught at night sometimes and during the day. Yet this night produced very little fish. When it came to shore, the Bible account tells us there was a multitude that pressed about to hear Jesus. We go back to that gospel account and read the whole account. It says, so it was, as the multitude pressed to hear him, to hear the word of God, they stood by the lake Gennesaret and saw two boats standing by the lake, but the fishermen had gone, and they were washing their nets. Now, it's always so good. Ignatius, way back in history, used to teach people, get into the picture. Make yourself one of the crowd. Make yourself one of the fishermen. Get a real picture of what was going on here. Sometimes we need to speak in some of the words that we would be using and not necessarily the words they would be using to grasp what's going on. So when I got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and he asked him to put out a little from the land. And he sat down and he taught the multitudes from the boat. The people who were there already knew that these fishermen had an unsuccessful night. They knew it. Now we all know how Peter was. He was just a little bit sharp on the edges. And I'm sure because of his personality, there were some people right there who were happy. Peter necessarily did not have a great fishing night. We know people like that. They're always there to put somebody else down to make themselves feel good, or to kind of get even in any way that they can. So, when Jesus stopped speaking, he said to Simon Peter, launch out into the deep and cast down your nets for a catch. Now remember, this wasn't a fisherman who was giving advice to a fisherman. It was a rabbi. What did he know about fishing? In the natural eye, it would be not much. And Peter does not move ahead silently. He says, and I can kind of picture it, rather loudly, mumbling underneath his breath. I think he just wanted to be sure Jesus had the facts. Jesus wasn't there at night, folks. How did Jesus get the facts? Peter wanted to make sure he had the facts. And he says, Master. Now he speaks respect to his title, even if he doesn't agree with what the man is saying. Wow. Let me tell you, that's something our society lacks these days. Respect to the title, even when we don't agree with the person holding the title. We speak respect to the title. Because God says so. God is the one who places those people there. And he says to him, Master, we've fished all night and have taken in nothing. I think if it was me and I pictured this scene and I was there, I think he waited just for maybe thinking Jesus would say, oh, right, yeah, thanks for telling me, I didn't know that. Because that's the way we would do it. Come on, you weren't there, you didn't know, so come my way and say, yep, right, I got it. It's true. Because I think that's the way Peter was. Instead, he might have waited for the next word. And he breathes out and he says, nevertheless. Nevertheless, at your word, I'll let down my net. The word is not only a measure of our faith, it also is the joy of our triumph. Nevertheless is not just a measure of our faith. It's the joy of our triumph. It is the joy, nevertheless. God is for us and never against us. Never the